Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Hello, Millie. Hello, H. Davis. Sending you many prayers, H. Davis. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. This is going to be a short live. I promise it is. I promise. I promise. This is one of the craziest things I ever come across. I hope y'all are doing good and had a great day, though. I want to say that. I got out and had a great day, so I hope y'all got to watch some of the videos. And next time I'll try to turn my camera correctly. um, so I think it was just falling all over the place. But anyway, did have a good day, except when I went to that one graveyard. Oh my God. I don't know if you've seen that or not, the first part, but it looked like somebody was coming in or out of that grave, honey. I'm just saying, just saying. But anyway, I hope your day was beautiful. I'm sorry, H. Davis. I am sorry. Just stay strong. Stay strong. Stay strong, honey. You got to stay strong. But I wanted to come on here, and I also want to say I did post something, but as I was driving, I found out that Dog the Bounty Hunter, his step grandson was in a tragic accident, and that was with his step son. It was tragic with the pew pew. And so even though we think we have problems, we don't have near the problems many people have. So many prayers to him and his wife and his family. I cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine. And my prayers go out. So I did want to say that. I know there was something else coming out about it about an hour ago. So they're just asking for their privacy right now, but many, many prayers up to them. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. If anybody comes in, just go ahead and hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, and then they can watch it later. I did not check to see who was on or whatever. I know it's late, but I read this crazy story, and I wanted to research it a little bit and come on. Millie, you may have heard about this. I don't know, but it's called, it was Colton. His name is Colton, and he did all these crimes and stuff. And they caught him in the Bahamas because he was 19. He didn't have a license or anything. He flew this airplane over, but it's just crazy. It was crazy. That's all I can say about it. So this will be on a little lighter note, but I wanted to bring it to you. This is the craziest crime spree I ever heard of. So he stole planes, he stole boats, and he stole hearts. Evidently, he stole hearts. All before he was 20 years old. Honey, he was 19. Can you imagine having a 19-year-old? It's not funny. Thank God he's okay, and thank God everybody else is okay. But I was reading this, and I'm like, this is even unimaginable. But anyway, it is a true story. Even though it's unbelievable, it is a true story, and you can check it out. And he's called the Barefoot Bandit. That's what he's called. He's called the Barefoot Bandit. Millie, don't make me laugh. Don't make me start laughing. Oh my God. I think I sweated out all my laughter today. Oh God, I gotta get rejuiced here. But anyway, he taught himself to fly and to vanish. So I call him Fly Boy Fly. Fly Boy Fly. Oh my God. So we're going to talk about this for sure. His name he's still alive. He's second to number one. Come on in and join this crazy bunch in here. Have you ever heard this story? I'm sorry. I know it's not funny. I mean, it is, but it's not. Oh my God. People could have been hurt. But thank God, when I read what he told the judge, y'all are going to laugh. I'm like, for real? I just couldn't go to bed without coming to bed with a smile on my face. Well, this one's a little bit lighter note. It is. Colton Harris Moore, he was better known as the Barefoot Bandit. I can't even get it out. The Barefoot Bandit. The Barefoot Bandit. Where is Flyboy? He's out now. We're going to get to that. He did his time. He did his time. Okay. So, the Barefoot Bandit is a former teenage fugitive. And it's from, I know I'm going to say this island wrong too. Oh my God, these states and their islands and their stuff. Is it Camino? Oh my God, I can't tonight. Just say it's an island in Washington, okay, where he became infamous for his multi-year, multi-state true crime spree. 2007 through 2010. Okay, I'll get it in a minute, H. Davis. Thank you. But if you never heard of him, Lord, I just did. And so let's just get into it, I guess. Let's get into it. Colton was born, he was born March 22nd, 1991, in his hometown of the Camino Island, Washington, however you say it. Oh my God. I can't even talk. I don't know. And they nicknamed him the Barefoot Bandit, okay, because he often committed these crimes barefoot. I don't know how they knew he was barefoot. It seems like I do too, second to number one, when he was in the Bahamas and they caught him. I think that's when I heard of it. But I don't remember any of this other stuff I was reading and checking out tonight. I'm just telling y'all. I know it's not funny. It is a true crime. But anyway. So they nicknamed him the Barefoot Bandit because he went barefoot when he did this. Billy, he just did it on a wing and a prayer. A wing and a prayer. I'm sorry. He was a wild child. He was a wild child. Oh my God. So he was known for stealing these cars and these boats and at least 5 airplanes. He stole not one. Did y'all hear me? He stole 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 airplanes. You're right, Millie. He was kind of smart if you think about it. He taught himself. Airplanes, it said he had no formal training. Oh, I said it, a wing and a prayer. I did. A wing and a prayer. Oh, God. So anyway, I can't imagine this wild child. I really can't. Colton's crimes weren't just frequent. They were bold. They were bold and bizarre. I'm never going to make it through this life. 7, 7, 5. I thought that said 777, Billy. It says 5 and then question mark. Yeah, he stole 5. 5 planes. 5. Okay. Yeah, he was bold. I don't know how you do that. They just leave the keys in the engine or something. I don't know. But there was no shame in his game. I know. I'm glad he wasn't my son, too. I would have freaking been, oh my God. Especially back then, I'd have been so embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm glad he wasn't my son because I'd be glad he was okay. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to say. So he just walked up, got in the car, like he on the plane. I swear. He must have. They must have not have had all the things back then, the security and stuff, which I don't think they had that till 9/11 anyway. But bless his heart, God, if it was that easy, think of how many free trips you could have got if you could have just taught yourself to fly. Fly, boy, fly. He did. He did. Okay, so he did learn it playing video games. Y'all, please keep your kids away from video games. When I saw that he learned that by video games and stuff, the first thing I thought of was Grand Theft Auto. There's a game called Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, well, no wonder. Oh my God. But he broke into homes and stores across at least 9 U.S. states, honey. He went everywhere. He got to see the world. Just think about that. Oh, God. He stowed and he flew multiple airplanes, learning from manuals and video games. So, see, you're right about that. These kids, they don't need them video games. They're bad news. Bad news bears. I'm just telling you. So, again, I said a few. I said 5, not 1. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto was popular. You had all the adults and playing it and stuff. I remember back then, but now I'm beginning to think I wasn't into all this true crime. I'm beginning to how many criminals was playing the ones behind the Grand Theft Auto. People, don't let your kids play those games. They might get another Colton. I'm just saying. What in the world? So he once flew this stolen plane, the last trip he made. He flew it to the Bahamas. Actually, it made a crash landing. Oh, Lord God, help. So it made a crash landing. It did. Imagine that. Y'all got jokes tonight. Oh God, thank God. Kid, what would you do if he come and picked up your daughter and took her for a plane ride? Oh my God. But anyway, he once flew a stolen plane, and that's when he got caught, when he had a crash landing in the Bahamas. And his barefoot signature was there, and his youthful image turned him into this media, I don't know, sensation or whatever you want to call it. And even in a sort of internet hero, if you will, if you will, I guess, he just, I guess people went wild over him, you could say. He broke a lot of hearts. Hey, Michelle Davis. Hello. Hello, hello. Good to see you, honey. But he was captured July 2010 in the Bahamas, and the police did a dramatic boat chase. They chased him in a boat. Don't ask me how he got out of the crash landing plane and got in a boat. I have no freaking clue. I don't know. But it was very dramatic. And he had charges. He had over 30 felonies, y'all. Over 30 felonies. Oh my God. So on the felonies, he got this sentence. That's just on federal. He got the sentence of 6.5 years federal time. Then he got additional time for state crimes. And he was ordered to pay $1.4 million in restitution. I don't even want to know how he got most of that money, because he got most of it. I don't even want to know how. In my opinion, I doubt he'll ever be able to pay that much, but he'll die trying. Just hope it ain't in an airplane. Colton Harris Moore faced state charges as well in Washington and in other states, and it related his string of thefts and burglary during this crime spree thing, to games that he played and stuff like that. But here's a breakdown of the state and level charges, especially in Washington, where most of the crimes originated. So in Washington state, that was his primary charge, and Colton pled guilty to 30 state level charges there in that island, whatever it is. No, this was a different island. It was Island County and San Juan County. So that was a whole different county. Don't ask me how he got from one county to another. But anyway, he gets around. That's all I know. He gets around, honey. I'm just saying. But he pled guilty to burglary, multiple counts, theft with a firearm, theft of a motor vehicle, identity theft, possession of stolen property, you think so, and attempting to elude the law enforcement. And he was sentenced just over 7 years in the state prison, but that was served concurrently with his 6.5 years of federal sentence. I don't think he pled guilty at first to the federal sentence. That was just the state sentence. However, he was found guilty. They try to say he might have had some psychiatric problems. Well, I don't know, but I'm going, what? Huh? I'm like, let me read this again. Colton had faced charges in Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Wyoming. I'm like, geez. I mean, I would be under the jail. But many of these states, many of them that I mentioned chose. I mean, how do you get so lucky? Damn, that boy's lucky. Fly, boy, fly. Fly and get you a lottery ticket, man. But many of those states chose not to prosecute separately due to federal and especially the Washington cases covering the majority of the criminal activity that he did, resulting in his sentences. Really, he did. He traveled more than anybody I ever saw. He got around, that's for sure. I will say he got lucky there. I mean, like I said, I would have been under the jail. Yeah, probably because he had youth on his side. They wasn't that big back then. They did, but they wasn't that big back then about, putting the younger ones in prison for long periods of time and stuff like that. But his federal sentence broke down to 6.5 years in Washington state. A sentence of the state charges, I guess, was all run together, and the total time he served was around, because they ended up 87 months, so it was around 6 years. Well, he got released in 2016, and according to the news sources, after he got out of prison, which he was released, he was released on work release in 2016, which probably was a good thing. And according to what I know and what I found, in July of 2016, he was released to this halfway house near Seattle, and he started to work for the work release program performing clerical work for his former defense attorney, John Henry Brown. And that's Brown with the E. I mean, go figure that. Who does that sound like? Casey Anthony 2.0 all over again. That just hit me. I'm like, whoa. But anyway, his probation and his parole terms, they continued after that. Any funds that he raised, because he tried to raise funds from GoFundMe and campaigns and all that stuff, they were required to go towards his restitution and in his parole and his probation. Now, the reason that I say he paid most of that, he only, and it's not only, God, for me, I wish I had that much, but he owed still $129,000. Don't ask me how he paid the rest, because I don't know. I'm almost scared to ask. But that was for probation and for parole. And yes, he would have had both, considering he had state and federal charges. I think that's why. Yeah, he did sound like a smart man. He was smart enough to see the world. I'm telling you. Even though he tried to keep a low profile after he got out and all that stuff and got finished with his stuff, and now he still owes money, I'm sure. He tried to keep a low profile, and he did maintain a low profile, but he did give a radio interview in May of 2019, and I didn't find it. I didn't really look for it, but it is on KTTH Seattle. And he did express that he was sorry and remorseful, and he referred to, that he was also referred to the Barefoot Bandit, which I guess he took personal as a myth to him and not for himself. Accountability, I don't know. I'd had to see that interview, but Lord, I was really too tired tonight. I'm like, oh my God, this can't be happening. But it was a little lighter note, and I definitely wanted to get it to you. He also tried Cower funding to fund. Okay, so he loved to fly. I'm telling you, even after this, he even tried to Cower fund so he could get flight training. He wanted flight training. Yeah, one day there'll be a movie about it. I think they started a movie and it was halted, but the movie wasn't ever made. But there were books and stuff, and I have them wrote down. But the officials redirected everything that he's made to his restitution. I bet he wanted to cry then. I bet he wasn't so happy then. I mean, not only was he caught, though, but he did plead guilty after all. So he had to pay the piper, But he should thank God he had a good attorney that was hired for him. And that was hired on behalf of who else? Who? His mama. His mother hired this attorney January 27th of 2012. Now, he stood in front of Judge Richard Jones, a federal district court in Seattle, and he sentenced Moore to 6.5 years in prison for his infamous international crime spree. During sentences, though, Moore addressed the court. Oh, Lordy, I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall. But he addressed the court. And during sentencing, he told the judge, Richard Jones, he said, God, I just can't. He said, it is no stretch of the imagination to say that I'm lucky to be alive. You think? Well, I'm glad he at least realizes that. I'm glad he realizes he's very lucky to be alive. He's very lucky he didn't hurt somebody else. And he's very lucky he had a good mama to do that. And however he paid most of those charges off, he's very lucky. Yeah, at least he was honest about it. So we got a honest barefoot bandit. We got an honest barefoot bandit who's seen the world and did all the things. I'm glad at least he realizes that, though. But there is a book, and it's called Fly, Colton, Fly. That's why I said Fly, Boy, Fly. But the book is called Fly, Colton, Fly. That'll be interesting to hear on the thing that reads it for you while you're trying to go to sleep or something. Amazon probably has that Kindle, whatever it's called. But the true story, it's the true story of the Barefoot Bandit by Jackson Holes. And so there is that book. They have not aired the story, his story yet, but like second to number one said, they will. They will give it time. They will. It was featured on Dateline, NBC, 2020, Inside Edition, and of course the news. Colton has re-entered society very quietly, working towards restitution and trying to create a future grounded in aviation and real estate. So he's took up a liking to real estate. I hope he don't get keys to all the house and burglarize every house he can. I'm just saying. Yeah, it must be nice to be an honest thief. He might steal, but at least he's honest. That's right. Oh my God, Millie, you're cracking me up. That is the truth. That is the truth. Oh my God. So that once defied him. He served his time. He don't want it to defy him anymore. And as of mid 2025 this year, he remains pretty much out of the public eye. And all I can say is that boy must love to fly. I think I would stay away from anything that put me in prison any of those years. But all I can say is, hey, fly, Colton, fly, fly. Oh my God. I do have a little short video on it. Let's see if we can watch it. I don't even know what to say. Okay, this is TIFF Originals. I don't know if this will cut me off or not. It's allegedly just a few minutes. I'm going to put a little bit of music in the background just in case. Maybe I'll put Daydream in hell. Or maybe I'll put Into Space music. Let me turn it down a little bit. Yeah, this one will make you go into space. So, all right. So let's do that. And is that my share or is that my share? They keep changing these buttons on me. I don't know if it's them or my computer. So we're going to watch this part. I had to move some of it.
19-year-old Colton Harris Moore, the teen known as the Barefoot Bandit, the most wanted teenage fugitive in America, has been caught.
Most guys, when they're on the run, melt into the woodwork, and his was the exact opposite. His was like, here we go, catch me if you can.
Colton Harris Moore escaped from a group home in Renton last night. Harris Moore was just 15 when he was arrested for breaking into homes, stealing valuables, and using computers to place fraudulent online orders.
Went throughout the store with crowbars.
Disabled 8 out of 14 cameras.
I don't know exactly what he used on the ATM.
He got almost $10,000.
Colton Harris Moore is suspected of stealing as many as 2 airplanes. Colton Harris Moore may have taught himself how to fly.
By the time sheriff's deputies were alerted, the pilot was nowhere to be found. SWAT teams fan out across Granite Falls today in search of a suspect considered armed and dangerous.
We're well beyond the Robin Hood stage. We're into the John Dillinger stage.
One morning.
Wait. It's about over, but I better stop it for a minute. I better just stop it for just a minute because I have no idea what's going on. You remember this now? Oh my God. I cannot believe they had him in shackles, his feet and everything in the freaking airport or wherever they were taking him. And he was barefoot. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. So that was hilarious. I'm just like, what? Yeah, I think I would stay away from planes and everything else too, Millie. I don't even see, I don't have a sense of direction either. So there's no way I could fly a plane. I'm sorry. There's just no way. I'm sorry. It's not. All right, hold on. It's about over. Let's see.
Morning, the cops came. They asked me, have you seen Colt? I said, yeah, we just sat down and had breakfast together. God, did they get mad.
I don't think most of us thought of him as a dangerous kid.
I think he just got really addicted to adrenaline.
Want to be a professional criminal.
Olive, the Colton craze.
How do you steal an airplane? He's been on the run for like 2 years from the FBI and the cops.
Well, who is this kid? He kind of is self-taught in everything. He learned how to steal. He did pretty well at it.
Can you imagine? Oh my word. Hold on, let me get this down. Hold on. And then get this music off. I cannot imagine at all. All right, let's see. Let me get this music stopped. Okay. So what do you mean, H. Davis? Is this 75 times P? The fast? No, that was the original. Yeah, that was the original thing. That was the original. I know it was going pretty fast. Unless I hit a button, but I don't think I did. Mama tried. That's right. Mama tried. Yep. She tried to raise me better, but I won't sing tonight, honey. Let's see. You know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. He probably would have made a good agent. Absolutely. 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 Let's see. My phone's stuck again. So, yeah, so that again, they haven't made a movie yet, but I can't wait until they do because I want to see this movie. I can't see who plays him. I can't see who comes out with it. But there was no shame in his game for real, for real. But they finally caught him, and hopefully he learned his lesson, but he still does want to fly. He still does want to fly. According to the news and all the stories, like I said, he's out of prison. If you're just coming in, he was on work release, and he's tried to stay pretty low key. Anything that he makes, just reiterating, anything that he makes, he can't do GoFundMe's and all that kind of stuff because anything that he makes, he's still owed $129,000 just on probation and parole, you know. So yeah, he would have, you know, he would have had both of those, and there would have been lots of funds to have to pay. I think he's lucky he didn't have to pay more, you know, in my opinion, honestly. I think he must have had a real good lawyer, and I'm not even sure I want to know how his mama, she was even laughing. Did you see her? She was even, Lord, I don't even want to know how she come up with a lawyer. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. I think I would stay away from anything that put me in prison any of those years. But hey, fly, Colton, fly. You know, that's a wild story, but it's true. And I did want to bring it to you tonight. And I do appreciate you being here. And yeah, his mama seemed proud, honey. Wonder if he got her on a private plane. Took her to the Bahamas. Maybe he took her to Paris. She did see. I'm going to have to check more into this story. I like these lighthearted stories, honey. I like these light ones. So I don't know. But anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I am too. I just hope that y'all have a wonderful night. And now, hopefully, you can get anything that's been going crazy around YouTube today off your mind, at least for a few minutes. And I don't know, because I've been out and about. And, you know, that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. Class is over. Class is over. That's all I got. One thing for sure, nobody else's mama is going to trump her story. That's the truth. That is the truth. I may dig into some crazy ones that's happened or whatever. But I do too, Millie. I hope he stays on the right path, you know, and I hope he has a good life. But I try to check as far as up until 2025. So I know earlier this year he's okay and he's still keeping a low profile. So far, so good, staying out of trouble. So people can change. They absolutely can change, especially when they're young. But put them games down. Put them games down. And watch your kids and your grandkids, because I don't want them out there hot wiring my truck or anything like that. I'm just saying they might get a notion they can do something, and they might have seen it on a game. Do not try this at home, please. Yeah, if he channels his energy in a positive way, he can really do something good and have a good life, because what is he, about 25, 26 now? And that's young. And if he did all that and got it out of the way, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, but he did his crime. He did his time. He's paid. He's learned. I hope he's learned. You know, something like that. It's not okay, but it is a little bit lighthearted. Just thank God a bunch of people was not injured, including himself, especially with the planes, man. Yeah, he's probably about in his 30s now. That's about the age they start going, you know, hey, I'm getting kind of older now. I need to straighten up. I don't have time for the games anymore and all that kind of stuff. You know, if they got any kind of sense to them. Some people are just wild children, and after that, they get it out of their system, which that's a lot to get out of your system, y'all. Look, I want to check more into his mama. She was smiling. I want to check more into her. What kind of lady was she anyway? Oh my God. Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. Or hit them down if you didn't like it. It don't matter to me. just hit something. And I'll see you on the next go around. You never know what you might get here. Bye, H. Davis. You have a good night, honey. And bless all of you. Thank you, Millie. Thank you, everybody that dropped in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone that will watch this. I appreciate you all so much, more than you know. Y'all have a good night. Bye.